This time around, I like to give my own interpretation, or at least an entry into the story La Fabulosa, a Texas operetta by Sandra Cisneros. I think we have to take into consideration what we have read before. I'm talking about woman hollering creek, and then the Marlboro man. I didn't have enough time to go over that conversation between two women. Um, and the icon of the Marlboro Tobacco Company. Um, both the stories have to do with, well, indeed women, but also men and what they do, women and men, in relation to each other. In this case, as you see, the title includes already Spanish, La Fabulosa, the fabulous, and then a Texas operetta. And you might be wondering why operetta? Well, it looks like it's a short opera with a light theme or topic. So that's what, and opera, of course, it's a huge drama spectacle, right? So the intention here seems to be from the writer telling us it's going to be light. It's not going to be really deep, whatever happens. But as you know, comedy may be more meaningful at times than what passes for deep tragedy. Okay, so as you read the story, it's just two pages. Uh, Keep that into consideration. I mean, how is it that comedy may be more meaningful or tell us, right, many more things than, say, what passes for deep tragedy, philosophical tragedy, if you will. I think in the story, what I would like to highlight, it's mainly that on the one hand, we have an interesting voice, which is the voice of the narrator. I take that the narrator is actually a woman and not a man. Okay, you can challenge me on that, but that's my impression, because I think it's told, from the side of the woman, no matter what. It seems at the beginning that the narrator is talking against Carmen, the protagonist of the story, right? When she says, for instance, she likes to say she's Spanish, but she's from Laredo, like the rest of us, or Lardo, as we call it. Okay? So at the beginning, you might think, oh, this is a pretentious character that tries to pass as European. That's what I mean. That's what I read when I read Spanish, that she's trying to pass, as whiter than most Mexican American folks, something like that. And and so at the beginning, it looks like, oh, this is going to be, a sarcastic um, story about this kind of woman. In addition, then there is a reference to the breasts of the character. And so it looks like maybe in the second paragraph or third, we already have a sort of a comedic description of the physicality of the character. But I think as the story progresses, and it's a lot of fun to read, we see the protagonist going from this relationship to a new relationship and to a third relationship. And in each case, it seems that there is a lot of independence in this character, because she is with this corporal guy at the beginning, but not necessarily very satisfied. And we have a second man who is a politician and it seems to be a guy who is very well known and with power, um, and lots of influence, but not even that guy captures the needs of Carmen, because she will in the end go with another guy, right? the the ending of the story, the ending of the story is very joyful, I would say. And in the tone of the narrator, I see a lot of complicity between um, the views of the narrator and the main character, Carmen. Okay, I don't think in the end the narrator is demeaning Carmen, but actually celebrating her. Only that this celebration is done in a very kind of well, light way, but also comedic, and and it's like a joyful recognition of the significance of the character in the end. Okay, like in the end, guys are kind of foolish, and they fall for this attractive woman. Um, and then the narrator has felt the need to tell the story precisely because of that. Because on the one hand, how men are, and how women like Carmen, who seems to be an exceptional woman in more than one sense. Um, I guess my ending would be behave or uh, find their places in life. Okay. Um, so I was thinking that maybe this story is like a retelling of the usual cowboy hero that succeeds against all odds, and in the end is but the representation of the macho guy, um, who conquers not only men but devastates, women, because he's such an attractive um, exemplar, I guess, of the masculine side of the planet. Okay, so notice what I'm saying: a retelling of the usual masculine story with the cowboy character. See if you trust in what I'm saying after your reading. As you see, I'm not trying to give you lots of details about the story, but I'm just giving you my insight, the way I'm looking at the story, right? Uh, Place the story in context, see what she's saying or doing in regards to female characters, especially, right, Mexican American characters, and what she's doing as well, Sandra Cisneros, about these men that she's portraying. Okay, here we have the struggle, here we have the conflict, and here we have a possible resolution, right?